What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki, back out with some more of the Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger's videos. And with this one, I'm looking into is the white apple, or not the white apple. Well, I think it's white. Doesn't really matter. But the Apple Watch that you guys want to take a look at more towards Shanann than Chris. We've seen Chris and him taking steps with his phone and his watch and stuff like that. But what about Shanann's? I'd like to know where hers was, why it wasn't on when she came home, or when it was on her when she came home, and pretty much everything that was on her Apple Watch that wasn't really released to us. There's some of it, it's in the discovery, but not all of it. Also, the mysterious white truck that keeps lingering in the shadows of the words from people's mouths in that area of Frederick, Colorado, like Betty. Nate saw it a few times, but Betty's seen it. We're going to look into all that right now. So with the help of Zav Girl, if you guys not watched her already, I suggest you go over to her channel, subscribe, comment, like, and share. You know the deal. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I'm so blessed to have all of you guys. And hopefully one day we will hit that 100K goal. But I need your guys' help. With that being said, let's get into that video. And she's muted. There we go.
So I'm still going through the discovery.
I'm reading it every day. I'm literally dissecting that discovery.
First of all, I want to apologize for that live the other day. For those of you that were there, I'm so sorry. I didn't feel good. Stupid me fell asleep in the sun and didn't put sunscreen on and got basically second-degree burns. And I peeled off the skin and it got infected and went into my blood. So I had to get some antibiotics. I had to go to the hospital and get antibiotics. It was like right before he pushed, go live. I felt the fever coming on and my face just got so hot and I just started sweating and it's like, I can't do this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this, So good thing. I mean, I was trying to get the setup right. So this video, I am just gonna go through some things in the discovery. I'm just going through it again because I actually requested another another discovery. I requested the files from Weld County again, plus since the new files came out too, so I wanted to get my.
How about they one up themselves and release some more evidence?
My own copy of those and just get the new. I don't even know if there's anything new added to the discovery, but if there is, then I wanted to have it, so I wanted to be able to go through it and see if there's anything I catch. Now this stuff.
Well, we literally have pretty much a letter that says that Nicole Kessinger was the problem. She was there. He blames his Jezebel, and yet nothing. Crickets from Mr. D.A. Rourke.
That I found so far is in the old discovery. I haven't found anything new yet. Yeah, so I just wanted to share it because I know, some of you guys don't have time to sit there and read through.
But the Apple Watch is kind of new for some people, including myself, trying to figure out what exactly was on this Apple Watch.
Through the discovery on your own. So here you could just put your headphones in and listen. So I'm just trying to pick out some interesting stuff, I guess. Let's see. So first of all, I am going to this I kind of found kind of weird. This one, I don't know. Tell me, have you guys know what this is about? Okay, on August 18th, 2018, at approximately 15:30 hours, I was advised by Detective Baumhover to respond to the McKee Medical Center in Loveland to retrieve an item of evidence regarding this case. I later arrived on scene and was handed a silver canister with the word Celeste written on it. I then returned to the Frederick Police Department and handed it to Detective Baumhover. Nothing further at this time. So I don't know. Maybe, have you guys heard about this? It was, they're putting it as a piece of evidence. It was a silver canister with the word Celeste written on it. Why would that be?
What is that? Like a
in
pencil?
evidence, and he picked it up from the McKee Medical Center. I don't know. Am I missing something here?
I feel like I'm missing
I'm
something
not sure.
now.
So let me know what you guys think of that. And then also when
Weird.
so this is another thing. So on August 18th, 2018, at approximately 1100 hours, I contacted Christopher Rusk via phone. I received a tip that Rusk had personally known both Shanann and Chris and may have information regarding the case. I spoke with Rusk, who identified himself as the service manager for Longmont Ford dealership located at 235 Alpine Street, Longmont. Rusk informed me that Chris had previously worked at the dealership and was friends with him. Russ was friends with him. After Russ had heard that Shanann and children went missing, he reached out to Chris via phone, and Russ stated that the only thing that Chris said to him was that I shouldn't have talked to the media. So that, I don't know, I found that kind of weird. Like,
well, you literally laughed when you were talking about your family, so it was probably a good idea that you did do it because we knew your BS right away.
He said that's the only thing he said to him. So, yeah, well, obviously he shouldn't have, because, I mean, that was not a good idea.
He dropped
for him
the
to,
mic or dropped the ball on that one.
Because that was like, I feel like that was the dead giveaway, but
we knew.
Not that he wouldn't have got caught anyway. I mean, I definitely think he would have, but
I think it would have taken more time, maybe another few days, if not a week. But the people that interrogated Chris were very on him with his with the questioning. The lie detector definitely sped that up too. So I still think to this day, if Tammy and Stacy both interviewed Nicole Kessinger, big time difference. This case would have made big time difference.
Kind of like, I feel like if anybody had any doubts about him after watching those interviews, that kind of made you make your mind up, like, okay, it removed all doubt because the way he was acting. And yeah, I know, like, some people that said that they knew Chris, that that was just him being nervous. Some of the workers said, well, we didn't think anything of it. That that's just,
I can tell you when I'm nervous, I don't sit there and laugh.
We just thought he looked nervous or whatever. But
I mean, some people could.
Which very well. I mean, he was nervous, So, but I'm just saying, for like us strangers or that didn't know him, I mean, to us it was like so obvious, I feel like. So, and even the cops, I think even Tammy and Coder, didn't they make a remark like, it wasn't it at that last interview with him, they made a remark about how bad, and how after they seen that his interviews, they're like, okay, yeah. So they're
like, thank you for being a great liar.
I mean,
you're welcome.
So yeah, but that's weird. Out? So he just calls in, this Russ guy, and he said the only thing that Chris said to him is, I shouldn't have talked to the media. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so I mean, you think he had to have said something else other than that, but so it's that's like, why statement. Did Russ really just, that's the only thing he did tell the cops or the detective? Is that the only thing he said, or are they leaving things out, is what I'm trying to get here. Like, who was this? Sergeant Albert?
I'm writing notes because I'm making a big, huge, like, board that's going to have a whole bunch of information on it.
So is that all that Rusk really said to this cop, like, when he called? Or are they leaving out something? You know what I'm saying? Because so he called. Oh no, okay. So the sergeant, he contacted Christopher Rusk. Okay, but isn't that weird? The only thing that Chris said to me is I shouldn't have talked to the media. Like, was that really the only thing that Chris said to him? Number one, and if it is, I mean, that's kind of weird. That's the only thing he said. And if not, then is Rusk lying, or did the cop leave out some stuff? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but it just seems weird that it was just like the one sentence is all he said that Chris said to him. So why are they leaving stuff?
I honestly never heard that statement that Chris said, I shouldn't have talked to the media, until today. I don't know how I didn't hear about it, but see, people don't realize that, yeah, okay, there's probably a lot of things that have been unfortunately repeated, if not 1, 10, 100, 1,000 times, but there is little pieces that you find out along the way that make up more to this case. And I do apologize for you guys that might have seen things over and over. It's redundantly grotesque of how many times we've heard certain things, hundreds if not thousands of times. But I feel that with repetition, you store things better. Like if you study for a test and you're studying your vocab words, repetition of studying is going to get you to familiarize yourself with the case more and more and more without having to look back through your notes, or we can remember like, ding, that was what we needed, and so forth. So I definitely do think that watching these all the time, sometimes you got to take a break, but I think that in repetition, this does help.
Stuff out, but maybe not. Maybe it is all he said. It's just, you would think there was more to the conversation. But anyway, okay. So that's that. And then I found this activity report here. That I found this kind of interesting things that I must have overlooked the first time going through the discovery. So I'm going to read it here to you guys. On August 14th, 2018, I was assigned as a public information officer during the course of this investigation. During that period, I answered numerous phone calls from the media, I issued press releases, and conducted 2 separate conferences to disseminate information to the media upon approval of my commanding officers. Additionally, I answered several tips and comments pertaining to this case from the public and maintained an activity log of those calls. They are as follows. Okay, so 8/15/2018, possible sighting of victim and children at a Sprouts Market off the Smoky Hill Road, lead passed onto 986. So remember, these are people calling in about, tips.
So like, I was going to say tip hotline kind of thing.
Or, comments about the case. Okay, so on 8/15/2018, female party from MA called who claimed to be a psychic and foresaw their location be in a wooded area near water. I wonder, is that the one that I actually made a video, like one of my first videos, talking about that anonymous psychic that called in, and she got some of the stuff.
Oh, that's right. An anonymous psychic did call in and pretty much was almost like head on the nail with everything. Man, I wish we could hear back from her from like on the NK side of it.
Right. I mean, a lot of the stuff before they even knew what happened. I don't know if that's the one that he's talking about or not, but okay. So on 8/15/18, Sandra, mom of Shanann, called to advise that Shanann and Chris had court coming up on the 24th in W.C. Reef family matter. So did we ever figure out what that was?
I don't
feel
think
like
so.
it is. People were talking about that, but did we ever find out for sure, like, what that family matter was on the 24th? Like, what did they have court for? Does anybody know? Because I've heard a few different things, and I'm not sure what's true and what's not. So if somebody knows, let me know. But it was some family matter. So Sandy called in and said, they had court. Chris and Shanann both had court coming up on the 24th.
Oh, I do wonder what that is. It was on the 24th of August, which didn't happen. Could have been that he was separating from her. I honestly don't know, or if they were starting the process of separation. But then yet again, Shanann was trying to fix her marriage. She was the one that was actually trying to fix it, unlike Chris and so forth like that, with the help of Nicole Kessinger fixing the marriage. But what do you guys think that date is of the August 24th that was supposed to happen but didn't because, unfortunately, Shanann was murdered? So let me know down in the comments.
Matter. I don't know. Okay, so on 8/15, contacted by GPD, is a vehicle called into their office in Greeley, registered to family in Denver, not associated. So I don't know what that's about. Okay. 8/15. So this was all on, and then there's some on 8/16. Okay, but so this is still 8/15 on 8/15. So this is 2 days after it happened. So 8:15, friend of family Sarah Nudd called to inform that gender party of Shanann and Chris was canceled recently. Okay, another one on 8:15, Dolores Trumbull called, advised possible sighting of victim at 24-hour fitness gym down off of Arapahoe. Okay, on 8:15, Emily,
a victim?
Sarah Nudd called to inform that gender party of Shanann and Chris was canceled recently. Okay, another one on 8:15, Dolores Trumbull called, advised possible sighting of victim at 24-hour fitness gym down off of Arapahoe. Okay, on 8:15, Emily Boyer called advising that she was receiving strange emails from unknown person claiming to be a reporter. Emily lives in Gunnison and advised she has no relation to the case and did not understand why this was occurring. Okay, and another on 8:15, Debbie Moore from Minnesota also received strange email stating that someone from People magazine want info on case. Debbie has no affiliation of the matter. No callback requested. Okay,
What?
8:15, possible sighting of a victim at restaurant in Cook City, Montana. Remained anonymous. Okay. 8:15, Cindy DeRosset, friend of Shanann, said to check the trash cans for Thrive wrappers at house. If there are none, then that would indicate that Shanann had not been at the house because Shanann used it every day religiously. So I wonder if they really checked, because by that time,
Right.
8:15, they should have been checking that. I mean, he already took out the trash, They should have just had somebody emailed me actually, and they said with the Scott Peterson case, when Lacey was first missing, like that first day, after hours they made the house a crime scene, so nobody could get in there. Like Scott couldn't go in there and hide any evidence. I mean, like that same day it was a crime scene. So why couldn't they have done that with this? Like, that would have stopped him from being able to remove so much evidence, and then maybe we would have known a little bit more information. And can you imagine? And that's all he did. He cleaned for hours. It seems like that night.
Well, he was cleaning for hours, but then also sitting there talking to Nicole, because we see it in the phone logs.
He had all night to clean up, all day, so they should have just, had that. It should have just been a crime scene right away.
Exactly.
Because why were they able to? Because I know people, a lot of people were saying, well, it wasn't a crime scene yet. They were just missing. But if they were able to do it for the Peterson case, she was just missing at first too. So there is, I guess they are able to, right? Why were they able to make that a crime scene right away, but not able to do this?
This
Did
case
they
was
screw up somehow, and they should have. They
so
actually
dropped.
could have, made it a crime scene before they knew for sure, So, man, I would to be able to, for them to be able to go through the stuff before he got his hands all over and cleaned up everything. If there was any DNA or any evidence, they could have had it. So now, because of that, that's one of the main reasons. That, along with also, him not going to trial, but also that.
I so wish this went to trial. This would have been such an interesting case to look at through the eyes of the court. Like with the evidence and so forth, and NK being interviewed. Just think of the amount of content then.
Is a huge reason why we have so many unanswered questions, because he was able to clean it all up. So now we don't know a lot. Okay, so this is the one, the most interesting one the reason I wanted to read you this log, this activity log. Okay, so this is on 8/16. Virginia Kinch called to report a suspicious white truck.
So that would have been Thursday, because murder happened on Monday. 13th, 14th is Tuesday, 15th is Wednesday. So Thursday, okay.
Near Highway 52 at WCR 3.5 at 1:30 hours, which is 1:30 a.m. on Monday morning, which is that morning. No identifying information on vehicle, just white truck.
White truck outside
Who else has a white truck? Okay, so 1:30. What, were they just parked waiting for Shanann to get home? Because Shanann would have normally have been home by now, or if her plane was on time, she would already have been home. were they just waiting for, you know, for her to get home? Well, no, I mean, so he talked to NK till what, 11:30 that night. So maybe, yeah, he could have told her, you know, her flight's delayed, so she could have had time to go out there and, you know, because you know when a flight's delayed, they don't know exactly what time probably, so he probably didn't know for sure. So maybe she was just waiting somewhere, you know, off the highway.
But again, some people believe that SUVs are SUVs and trucks are trucks, but some people will call SUVs trucks. So that's why I'm hoping that it's not like an actual truck that like Chris Watts had, or if they're stating Nicole Kessinger's SUV Ford Runner is considered a truck. Does that make sense?
Waiting for her to get the call from Chris that Shanann was home. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying, I know this is an assumption, and I'm not saying, or speculation or whatever. I'm not saying that really was her for sure. I'm just saying she does have a white truck. It was like right around the time, like right before, you know,
yes, it
Shanann got
was.
home, and I don't know, suspicious. So she says suspicious, so that means it was probably like acting suspicious. It was probably just parked there for a while, you know, nobody getting out. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, it kind of does make sense. Maybe she was just waiting to get the call from Chris, you know, waiting near.
Or the call that, oh my gosh, I murdered my family. I need your help. And then she helped clean it.
His house. I don't know, because she does have a white truck. So whether or not it's her truck or not, but I don't know. The first couple times I've been through the Discovery, I must have overlooked this one. But anyway, and then the last one was 816 Kyle Bounds of Jackson, MS, called to inform of suspicious comment made in one of the comment section of CBS News Channel forum related to article reported about Shanann Watts' case. A copy of that log was added to the case file. So, but is there a copy right here? I'm trying to see what that was, but where's the copy at? I don't know. I don't know where the copy is.
Things are missing.
Where I could find that, but so I don't know. I just found that kind of weird with the white truck thing. And then actually, this kind of goes hand in hand. The other one I wanted to read to you here. Hold on one second. Oh, fine. 1 second here. It was about a gray truck now. Another one is about...
which is that Dakota with the topper on it.
This gray truck, which...
There's literally a blue car, red car, black SUV, a white SUV, silver truck. Like, oh my goodness.
I don't know. I mean, who has a gray truck? Someone in her family, or she has an
I think they said her father. I thought it was the work truck, but apparently she didn't have a work truck
or whatever. NK. So I mean, was she driving the white or gray one? If she was
something fishy with vehicles, Nicole was going on that day, that night, that hour, who knows?
Was involved. I'm not sure, but this is just another thing I came across. On August 27th, 2018, at approximately 13:15 hours, Sergeant Bedsall asked Officer Dahl to respond to blah, 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 talk with Jason. Okay, so Jason was provided a flash drive to download videos from August 13th between 13:15 hours to 14:10 hours. So why would they want...
Downloading files from what?
They would want it between... That's weird. Why would they only want... Okay, to download videos, because 13:15 hours would be... Wait a minute.
1 o'clock.
To 2:10. Right? Because
downloading what
why
videos?
Would they want... That doesn't even make sense. Am I reading something wrong? Okay, so they asked him to download videos from August 13th between 13:15 hours, which is 1:15 p.m. to 14:10 hours, which is 2:10 p.m., right?
Yes.
And it says Jason downloaded the videos onto the flash drive. Jason said that company that he has the cameras through is Arlo. Jason said the timestamp on the video was the file name. Jason said Arlo uses the Epoch Unix time code. Jason said if you put the file name into an Epoch converter, that will give you the date and time the video was taken. Jason said that the video footage that he provided is the only footage available from the cameras. Jason said on the video with a time of 14:01, so what, 2:01 hours, you can see a gray truck heading north on Saratoga Trail. Jason said that the other video activations are of wasps that flew onto the cameras. So...
Cameras? She said that, right?
Officer Dahl will place a flash drive in evidence. The video of the truck was uploaded to evidence.com. But I'm wondering, because in the files that I got from Weld County, I have all the, the neighbors, the ones that had cameras. I got all the videos from that day, and there is, I wonder if this was the one that I seen, where there was a bunch, like he had some where the wasps were activating it, and then there was one where you see it was actually Chris's truck driving by, though. So I wonder if they wanted that time because Chris left, and they wanted to see if it was Chris's truck because he knew he was going at that time, because that would have been...
She said cameras. S with an S.
After the cops were
already there. Or am I just looking too far into that?
Because they got there, what, like 12 or 1 or wait. Oh, maybe that was... I don't know. I'm thinking because when I went through all the tapes, that one, I think it was that one, but I'm not even sure. I just know one of the neighbors had a video of Chris's truck driving by, like in that day or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe that's why they wanted that for that time. But I mean, wouldn't they have known because he was under surveillance? So why did they pick that hour? Like, why did they want to know between that hour? I mean, if they knew, they had the...
What do you think it is?
The surveillance, then what's the big deal that they wanted to see his car drive by? I'm not sure, but it says gray truck, though. So that's why I'm not sure if it's the same one. But I know
he's got a
out of
brownish...
all the video surveillances that they got, all the neighbors, the only thing that really had anything in it regarding the case was that one, and I don't know if it's this one, but one that had a video of Chris's truck driving by. So,
but when was that
the
at?
other ones were either like bugs or like people. There was this one neighbor that had a camera, and there was a big list of all the times that it was activated, but it was just them outside, like, the kids out playing, and the mom was doing something, so it kept activating it. But and then the other one was like a wasp that kept activating it. So I'm thinking this is his. And then there was one where you see Chris's truck drive by. So I don't know if they're talking about that, but his truck was actually brown. But this cop maybe looked at it, to him it looked gray, because I could see somebody maybe calling it gray. Maybe, that could just be what they meant. But it's weird because it's like they wanted to download the videos from... So this guy, he had a surveillance, and they only wanted the video from that hour. Like, why did the cop pick that hour and say,
That's what I want to know, why
that hour, and download those videos? Like, why did they pick that hour? What were they?
What if that police officer... I can't say police. I can't say that because it's more speculation. But what if he was trying to retrieve that time zone because that's when NK was there, and they wanted to remove it unless they saw that she wasn't in it, so they're like, okay, we don't need to worry about it. That's just a conspiracy. I just thought about that just now as a possibility. No, I don't think so.
They're looking for. So, but anyway, so that's that. And then I wanted to read you guys...
I'm taking notes.
Let me see here. Okay, so just this...
The Apple Watch.
Consent 25. Okay, so in the morning at 8:15, so the synopsis is a consent search so when they did the search, I'm just going to read you one of the officers. Let me see who's doing this one. Let me see who it is. Matthew Saylor. I think it's Matthew Saylor. Yeah, Agent Matthew Saylor. Okay, so synopsis. Consent search of 2825 Saratoga Trail on the morning of 8/15/18. Action taken. On 8/15/18 at approximately 600 hours, so that's 6 a.m., I, CBI Agent Matthew Saylor, responded to 2825 Saratoga Trail in the town of Frederick, Weld County, Colorado, to conduct a search of the residence. Consent had been granted by the owner, Chris Watts, the previous evening during a videotaped interview. Additionally, Watts gave consent to any and all testing and collection of evidence that was deemed necessary, specifically the use of alternate light sources for the detection of the presence of blood evidence. Upon arrival, I met with CBI crime scene analyst David Yoakum, Frederick Police Department Detective Dave Baumhover, and Frederick Police Department Officer Steve Walleye. Detective Baumhover contacted Watts by phone to obtain the code for the lock on the front door, allowing us access to the residence. Upon entering the residence, we located a dachshund in a small kennel in the area near the garage pedestrian door and placed the animal outside in the closed backyard. And another thing, I was always wondering, where was that dog when they were over, before Chris got home and, Nick Wackerson was trying to get in, and then they called the cops and the cops were trying to get in, knocking, and why didn't we hear him barking at all? Like, where was the dog then? Wouldn't we have heard him barking? I mean, he definitely had to have been barking. Look how much he barked when,
No kidding.
they were inside and stuff. But, like, wouldn't we have heard him? I swear I never heard a dog barking. With them pounding on the door and yelling. There's no
I didn't
way
hear
he wasn't
Dieter.
barking. Where did they have him? Does anybody
Probably
know?
in the back corner.
Okay. CSA Yoakum
The hallway.
took overall photographs of the residence, and we then began our search. I noted that the residence was very neat and orderly. Yeah, also, I know they kept it neat and orderly anyway, but this was on 8/15. This is after he had already cleaned the whole place. He had like all day, all night, and then all, some of the day. So basically,
Should have put
all
a
night
hold
into
on
the
this
morning,
guy.
On Monday to clean before anybody got there. I don't know what time everybody got there, like Tuesday, but Monday, after he
Right
had his
after
friends over,
12 to 1.
they all left because he said I got to clean. So it sounded like he stayed up, almost
The
all
whole
night
night.
cleaning, and then
He was making phone calls up until 2:00 in the morning that night.
even into the morning or whatever, So he had hours of cleaning, and then he also,
I hope, and I know you guys, some people believe it, some people don't, but you know how we heard some like EVPs on the body cam footage and so forth about like, I'm with CC, this is our home and so forth, that we heard that Shanann possibly was saying. I hope that night that he was there and he was trying to sleep in the bed, knowing that his family were in those tanks and in the ground, I hope those whispers, those EVPs, the shadow figures that may be lurking in that house at the time, I hope they were haunting him and scaring, and he was just in like turmoil, but he wasn't, because he doesn't have feelings. Okay.
I don't know if they were there all day the next day, but I'm sure he had some time in between there to clean. But it sounded like he did most of his cleaning that night, that Monday night. So, okay, so CSA Yoakum took overall photos of the residence and we began our search. So the items in the kitchen cupboard were organized and labeled. The items in the basement were all organized and packaged, many in plastic totes. I noted that the clothing in the closets were neat and orderly, arranged by clothing type and color. The only exception was the office and its adjoining closet, which had clutter on the desk and items strewn on the floor. The office and closet were in contrast to the remainder of the house. I noted that I
think somebody went through that office wholeheartedly, because you can't tell me the whole house is beautifully clean and taken care of, and then you go to her office and it's just destroyed. I mean, not destroyed like some ex-girlfriends would probably do, but it's been ransacked like somebody went through it. Somebody was looking for something.
All of the beds had been made. as I was advised that on previous consent searches of the residence, the kids' beds were unmade, and the master bedroom bed was stripped of its bedding. CSA Yoakum conducted Blue Star testing of the bathrooms, stairs, entryway to the.
Oh, so they did check the stairs. See, why don't we have pictures of that? Because some people think that we found blood drops on the runner board that's on the stairs and the carpet, which we don't know for certainty, but I wonder if they did. So they did do the blue testing on there.
Garage and bedrooms, and no presumptive blood was located. During the search, I was advised that FBI agent Tori Smith was responding to the residence to assist in downloading the contents of the router in the residence. So I wonder what they found on the router. It must not have been anything too interesting, but Special Agent Smith arrived and connected to the router with his laptop. Special Agent...
Which there was somebody's phone or device attached to the Watts router, and it was unnamed, as you will.
Smith took screenshots documenting his connection to the router in router settings. It should be noted that the router time was set to 8 Pacific time, US Canada. So there is a 2-hour discrepancy with local time, Mountain Daylight Time. Special Agent Smith downloaded the router log and provided me with copies of all the screenshots and log, which are attached to this report. The router was collected as evidence. See Special Agent Smith's report for
they
additional
took the
details.
router.
Oh, so maybe there is some details about that. I feel like that though there wasn't anything that I found like on the router that was anything much. You know, when I read it through the discovery the first time, unless if I missed, I'll have to see that part to see Special Agent Smith's report. I'll have to look for it. Okay. During the search of the residence, it was noted that the trash cans throughout the residence, such as those in the bathrooms and bedrooms, had been emptied. Of course, he didn't leave anything. Like, he cleaned, emptied, and then the trash even got picked up. So, like, all the evidence is gone. I mean, what's the point of them even getting any evidence? He got rid of anything important. You know, you guys are too late. You're 2 days too late, you know? Jeez. Anyway. The trash bags from those trash cans were located in the kitchen trash can. Okay, well, I guess he didn't take them all out. Underneath those trash bags, we located a bed sheet and 3 pillowcases. The bed sheet and 1 pillowcase had an unknown dark substance that appeared to be smeared on them. The bed sheet and pillowcases were photographed and collected as evidence. Okay, so I wonder why he didn't take those out with the trash. Or because did they come Monday or it was too late? Or because do you think because, you know, he knew that they knew about, I mean, because they were there the day before Monday and they knew about the sheets. So would they have asked about them? Like, where are those sheets? Oh, they threw them away, you know? I'm just confused why he just put them in the trash and didn't even try to hide them, basically. So
because they probably showed up before he
why are you
was able to put them away,
throwing them away, or because I know you know what he said, because the one was missing, right? Isn't that what he said? So
one child's bedding was missing for some reason.
He threw away the rest, but wouldn't they wonder what happened to the one and why? I mean, you just decide to throw them away now when everything is going on, you know? Like, how stupid was he? I don't know. Like, how did he even think that, I could have, you know, the sheets and pillowcases in the trash, you know, so when they search,
that doesn't look suspicious.
The one sheet's going to be missing, the fitted sheet, but they're not going to suspect me. Like, oh no, I'm good. What? Like, I don't know. This guy is either really dumb or was just praying that some kind of miracle would happen, because he knew he was just screwed and just hoping.
He thought he was going to get away with it.
Okay, anyway, I located an Apple Watch on the nightstand of the master bedroom that was later determined to belong to Chris Watts. I also located an Apple MacBook Pro on the desk in the office. Watts was again contacted by phone, and he gave consent to seize any electronic devices located in the residence.
What about Shenanigans?
These were collected as evidence. An Apple Watch determined to belong to Shenanigans Watts was located on a couch in the upstairs loft area underneath the throw pillows. So my question is,
So Shanann's phone and her Apple Watch were thrown underneath the pillow on that couch in the loft living area. Why?
It was located when when they came in to do the search, that's when they found it under the throw pillows. So when they found Shanann's phone, like in the same couch, because they found it in the couch upstairs in the loft, they said in
Nick
between
found
cushions. Did they just not end up finding the Apple Watch? I mean, they're looking through the couch, right? If it was Nick that supposedly found it, but now we know there's a couple different stories of how that was found. But whatever happened, and whoever found the phone, I don't know if it was Chris or Nick, or I know one of the reports even says Nicole Atkinson brought it.
Nick found it. He was going to give it to Chris, but then the detective grabbed it instead, which Chris was like,
over and found it. I mean, there's so many different things. I mean, how they say it happened and the discovery is not how
it's not lining up.
It happened in the, when you watch it on the film. Armchair Detective did just did a video on that. So, it's just weird because the way they write the reports, the one officer, he described it and it wasn't how it happened. So I don't know. I just got sidetracked here. I kind of went off the subject. So my point is, whoever found that, the phone, they had to have been like searching through the couch, under and in between the cushions. They find the phone. So let's say Nick found it, okay? Or Nick and Chris. I think it almost was like Nick and Chris were kind of together looking for it. So maybe Chris and Nick were right there,
upstairs.
And then Nick is the one that actually pulled it out of the couch. Whatever. I'm not sure how it happened. But anyway, how didn't they find the Apple Watch if it was just underneath the pillows on that same couch? So I'm not sure if it's because Chris just put it there afterwards.
Or what if Chris came in the house?
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But
what if Chris was in the house and did all that running around quickly before he let the police officers in, which was, I think, like 45 seconds to a minute? Could he have gone up there, taken her phone and thrown it in the couches just quickly, thinking that they weren't going to find it? I don't know.
This guy's saying when they did the search, they located her Apple Watch underneath the throw pillows on the couch upstairs in the loft area. So
it's like she
the watch
was almost
collected
sitting
as evidence. An Apple iPad was found in a backpack underneath the desk in the office, which was also collected as evidence.
Yes.
An Amazon Echo Smart Home device was located on the kitchen counter and was collected as evidence.
Jeez,
but to go back to the Apple Watch, so
I took the Amazon
Alexa. I
Alexa.
wonder if Chris was kind of scared
Alexa,
because something, he was scared about something that Apple Watch would have maybe said. Well, one thing is because everybody knew she always wore it, so because I'm just wondering why, he knew they were coming to search, so was he trying to hide it, thinking they weren't going to find it under the pillows of the couch? Or because I don't know if it could have been there when they were all searching and they found the phone, because I really think that Nick would have found it because they were looking through the couch, right? Unless if it really was Chris that found the phone, so he knew,
who knows,
where the Apple Watch was, so he made sure he didn't pull that out. He just pulled the phone out. Because if Nick was searching through the couch and found the phone, he would have saw the Apple Watch too. You would think, so maybe Chris is the one that got the phone. Or maybe Chris put that Apple Watch there after, for some reason. And then, is he really thinking they're doing a search of his house and they're not going to find it? Why wouldn't he just taking it with him and throwing it away or something? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
He wasn't thinking.
But I just wonder, if he was worried that something on there, because wonder if she had it on her and then it would kind of show. Well, no, because they went through, that's right, they went through the information.
She took it off before bed.
I'll have to go back and see, but I feel like it didn't really show much. I'm gonna have to find it in the discovery about her activity from it. But I feel like
I
it
want to
wasn't
look more
very,
into that.
you know.
It should have been her phone and her watch should have been by her bedside. She had the things to charge her stuff on her bedside. So it makes you think that maybe she didn't go to bed right away, but then maybe they talked and then they went to bed. I don't know.
Really prove any, or just, it didn't really show. There wasn't really much to it, I feel like, because I remember going through it and I wasn't like, it was just like, oh, it wasn't that interesting, you know. So anyway, okay, so yeah, so they took the iPad, they took the Amazon Echo. So in searching the garage, I located a cardboard shipping box from Amazon inside the trash dumpster. Inside the box, I found a marriage improvement book that appeared to be brand new. And we know that that Shanann bought Chris to read, you know, and she had the same book. Remember, she bought.
He should be required just to read it.
Her and him one, so they could read it and try to improve their marriage. And what does he do? He just throws it in the trash. I had earlier received information that Shanann Watts had sent a marriage improvement book to her husband, Chris Watts. The book was photographed and collected as evidence. All items of evidence were photographed by CSA Yoakum and packaged and collected by Officer Walleye. See the reports for additional information. Prior to exiting the residence, we let the dog back inside, but were unable to secure him back in his kennel. We secured the residence and left. End of report. Wow, they weren't able to, like, wonder if, is he always, obviously he was in the kennel that day, you know, so they must always keep him in the kennel, maybe.
They probably keep him during the day
if
while
they leave, because Shanann's usually there working from home, you know. So if they leave, they must put him in the kennel, because obviously he had to have been in the kennel when that morning, because when they were knocking, he would have been coming up to the door, you know.
He wasn't.
And it must have been somewhere where you wouldn't even be able to hear him bark. But anyway, it's kind of messed up though that they didn't secure him. You know, they just let him go when he's, I don't know, when they found him secured, but they just let him roam the house. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. So, you know, about that white truck, that's got me wondered at 1:30 in the morning on the highway, the suspicious white truck, that Monday morning, 1:30, and then that gray truck, which I'm thinking is just Chris's truck, and they're mistaking it for gray. He's just calling it gray when it's brown, because it kind of looks like a grayish brown in a way.
I shouldn't have talked to the media.
If you see this video, if it's the video that I'm thinking of, that I've seen, it is Chris's truck driving by, and it's just like so quick. And I mean, I could see somebody kind of describing it as gray. And that.
But the Apple Watch, and I shouldn't have talked to the media. Some different things about the cleaning that he was doing. So with all that being said, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts. I definitely do enjoy reading them every night and so forth. I can't get to all of them, so bear with me. And make sure you guys go over to Zav Girl and subscribe if you have not done so already. And we'll see you guys in the next one. So keep it real, keep it safe. And as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.